Throw it down, big man.
Welcome everybody back to the Throw It Down Big Fella Podcast. I am your host with the most, Greg Rufus here, and wow, you guys, welcome. This is the recap episode of NFL Week 3, college football Week 4. Lots of surprises going on. I break down what I'm impressed with, depressed with, surprised by, all that type of stuff, all the recap, and also preview NFL Week 4 and college football Week 5. It's been a long week for me, you guys. I went to a funeral in Nashville, Tennessee for my cousin. Just it was a wonderful ceremony procession. Just keep your prayers up for my family. It's just going through a difficult time right now, but it was a wonderful sight to see my family and people that I haven't seen in a long time. So I'm just coming back from that trip to Nashville. My wife is in another country right now, so I'm trying to hold Barron until she comes back this week. So keep my wife in your prayers as well, and I'm just gonna try to hold the boat until she comes back. But in the meantime, before we get started with this episode, please, you guys, please subscribe to this podcast. Show us some love at Throw It Down Big Fella. Also, go on Instagram at Throw It Down Big Fella Pod. Follow and share this, and tell somebody that knows something about this wonderful podcast. All right, so let's get into it. Week 3, I'm sorry, of the NFL season. Let me see if I can bring this down. My Philadelphia Eagles, as you can see right there, surprise win at the New Orleans Saints the other day at the Big Easy, 15-12. Saquon Barkley saved the day once again. He did week 1 against the Green Bay Packers. You know, they're gonna. I was here last week and said, "Oh, Saquon dropped a potential ball," and it wasn't just him missing that potential catch the other day. It was just everybody in general, like the defense, the Jalen Hurts turnover, not Nick Sirianni not going for it. His coaching decision. A lot of that was from last week against Atlanta. A lot of that rears ugly head this game. Well, the defense actually, I want to give credit to the Philadelphia Eagles defense. They and this is one of my impressions as well, you guys. The Philadelphia Eagles defense came to play. Like, no question about it. They came to play, allowing the Saints just 12 points. Just 12 points. They've been averaging 40 before this to hold that offense. And, you know, I respect Derek Carr. He's a warrior quarterback. But I've said this, and I think other people have said this as well. If you put some pressure on Derek Carr, 9 times out of 10, it will show. It will show. And my Philadelphia Eagles defense, it came to play. I was waiting for that particular one moment where I'm like, okay, the Eagles have to play some type of better defense. They got to. And they did. And so credit when credit is due. The Philadelphia Eagles defense showed up and played. No A.J. Brown. Devontae Adams got hurt, got a concussion during the game. Hopefully he'll be okay for their next game against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers this week. Jalen Hurts, 2 horrible turnovers, an interception in the end zone. They're saying they blame it Devontae, but you got to know, like, Devontae is his body. You got to know, like, the way that ball was thrown into coverage like that. I mean, it's just, you have to know better. And it was Honey Badger as well too. So it was just a throw that was unnecessary. I feel like that's the case for a lot of quarterbacks in the league. Interception, you're like, could you have prevented that by not throwing that? Sure. I mean, but he did it, I think, at Green Bay. Like I said, threw it down the middle, and the defender for Green Bay caught it. So it's like, he's got to live and learn off of that. You know, turnovers are becoming a problem for Jalen Hurts. He has to correct that. Fumble, I believe, in the third quarter. Saquon Barkley saved the day, and Dallas Goedert, 10 catches, 170 yards. Like, that was really, really unbelievable. So they have their work cut out for them coming up. Of course, they'll be Tampa Bay. They get a bye week. Usually I'm not a fan of bye weeks so early, but I feel like for this Eagles team, they need it, and they need to reset, get everybody healthy, get the playmakers healthy, and also for Jalen, just completely reset. Like this is fine and all. This what Saquon is doing is wonderful, wonderful, great. The Giants gave us a Christmas gift this offseason, getting him, but it's like Jalen has to be better. Like I expect so much from Jalen Hurts. He needs to play better. And he's the engine along with Saquon. But Jalen, you're a top five paid quarterback. Like you got your money. You congratulations by the way on getting married. By the way, shout out to that. But you're that guy now. So you need to show out, and prove to everybody that prove not only prove to me, but prove to all the haters and doubters out there that you are one of those guys. So I expect things to just pick up and get better. I'm hopeful, optimistic, whatever you want to call it. But Jalen Hurts has to pick his game up. And Nick Sirianni, please, I mean, these coaching decisions, along with other coaches out there in the NFL, but your coaching decision, your willingness to go for it on fourth down and not take points, like it's a madman gone crazy. I get it's cool, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. But I'm like, come on, bro. You gotta sometimes read the room. Sometimes be like, okay, I'll take 3 points. I'll take the three. Keep it moving. But his decision making, it's got to get better. It's got to get better for Nick Sirianni. And I fully think like, look, if things don't get better and they fall off a cliff, the Eagles, who's going to be the first one fired? It'll be you, Coach Sirianni. So get it together. Um, learn from the mistakes, coaching mistakes that you have right now. Just learn from that. Learn from the gambling that you're trying to do, and just be better. Be better. That's all I got for it. But we'll see how this plays out. But I'm definitely impressed with the Philadelphia Eagles, how they went into the Big Easy, a very difficult place to go into, and won and beat the New Orleans Saints 15-12. Also, am I impressed? I didn't see these two teams just really do it, come out of nowhere. They're undefeated. The Minnesota Vikings and the Pittsburgh Steelers, like the Minnesota Vikings with Sam Darnold, are just really, really, really impressive. They dominated the Houston Texans this past week. I mean, it wasn't even close. Like Brian Flores' defense is really causing problems. And I'm just impressed with how they're able to hold fort. They're able to contain some great teams, the 49ers the past week, Houston this week. Now they have a marquee game this Sunday against the Green Bay Packers. Just unbelievable. Shout out to that Brian Flores team. We know their defense has been up and down, roller coaster-ish, but you bring in a guy like Brian Flores, you have already playmakers out there. Um, you see what they're about. And Sam Darnold's not making any mistakes. You know, I was in the mindset when they beat the Giants week one. I'm like, I gotta see it to believe it. So, like I said, they beat the Minnesota, they beat San Francisco, they just demolished Houston. This could be a surprise team. I just wrongly was incorrect on how good they could be. Like I figured without JJ McCarthy, I'm like, all right, there's no way that they can sustain this and do, but they're doing it, and with Sam Darnold. So I'm gonna give a salute, a shout out to the Minnesota so far. They're doing the thing right now. Also, the Pittsburgh Steelers. At some point, I kept thinking, man, Mike Tomlin, he's a good coach. He's a great coach. I'm just like, can he really do it with this team? Can he do it with either Russell Wilson or Justin Fields? Two quarterbacks that have not lived up to the hype. Russell did in the past, but recently, he's on the decline. We're like, we don't know. We just don't know what this offense is going to look like. We know they got a playmaker and George Pickens and Najee Harris is straight. We knew that, and we know their defense is top notch with T.J. Watt and Fitzpatrick. I'm sorry, Fitzgerald. Yeah, Fitzpatrick, Michael Fitzpatrick, and Cam Hayward. We know this. We know that the defense is going to show up and play. but can they sustain it? The first they've only given up 10 points, 10 points, 6 points. I mean, their defense is so good. Um, we're gonna find out more and more and more. Can they continue to play offense this way without scoring 23 points, more than 23 points? We're gonna clearly see that coming up. I'm trying to see. I thought I remembered who they play coming up. Pittsburgh. They play the Indianapolis Colts this Sunday. Um, the Colts barely snuck by the Chicago Bears. Possibly another win. Possibly a favorite by 2 points. I want to see Pittsburgh, of course, when they play like upper echelon teams. Like quarterbacks that are. They knocked out Justin Herbert. That was a interesting take of the game. I'm like, oh, Justin's out. But after the Colts, they play the Cowboys, they play the Raiders, the Jets, Giants, Washington, who was another surprise team. I'm gonna get to them in a minute, but let's just see how they play moving forward. But so far, so good. I mean, their defense, like I said, lights out. We have to bring a lunchbox and prepare to get ready for this physical Pittsburgh team. But Mike Tomlin, the magician at it again, just continues to do it and do it and do it time in and time out. All right, another one, like I just mentioned, the Washington Commanders went into the Cincinnati Bengals and defeated Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase 38-33 last night in Monday Night Football. Just shocking. They're 2-1. They're tied with the Philadelphia Eagles currently in NFC East. Jalen Daniels only had 2 incompletions, a 90% rating, percentage completion rate. I'm gonna get that right. 90% completion. Just unbelievable. Only 2 incompletions. I mean, Terry McLaurin got involved in the offense. Washington Commanders are a sneaky, surprising team. I was being bold and waiting. I'm like, are they really? But new system with Dan Quinn there. But Jalen Daniels has been advertised and more. They're gonna be great. He's gonna be good. So far, he's like probably the only rookie that's like really doing something besides Caleb. But Caleb has no offensive line and no running game because you don't have offensive line. But Jalen Daniels is doing it. I mean, he's really climbing up the charts. People are finally get to see what this guy is really about. So Washington play Arizona. That's gonna be a fun game down in the desert. Let's see what they could do down there in Arizona. So I get to my deep press. The Dallas Cowboys, America's team, my dad's favorite team, a lot of people's favorite team, the Dallas Cowboys. Their run defense is just not there right now. You could say it's just season wise, it's just not getting their feet together. It's a lot of questions into that. Like, what's really going on with Mike Zimmerman's run defense? They let Derrick Henry go for $150. I mean, I know it's Derrick Henry, but we kind of know the Baltimore Ravens. Like, so far, we know Baltimore is like it's run heavy first. Like if the run is working, they're not going to try to trick anyone or poo-poo anyone. They're just going to run. Lamar only had like 15 throws in that game. He didn't have to do that much. But it's like if everybody in the stadium knows, everybody on TV watching, all the analysts and experts, if they know what's going on, but like the Cowboys are like the only team that doesn't know what's going on, like how's that possible? How is that possible? I mean, but they got their. I'm not gonna say they got their work cut out because they played the New York Giants Thursday night. I hate to say that a Week 4 game coming up is vitally important and crucial to a team, but I feel like the Cowboys, this is very crucial and very important early. I mean, I've said it through 4 weeks is more like a preseason, get your feel type of legs, and you'll know who they really are. I need the Dallas Cowboys. I expect coming up the Dallas Cowboys to take care of business and make this not even close. Like, just take care of business and show like you're supposed to be the cream of the crop in the division, possibly in the NFC. Show that. Show what you're about. This is, I think Dak said after the game, it's like if you want to jump off the boat, jump. I'm verbatim. If you want to leave the team, leave. Fans, meet, whatever. Okay. Now, Dak, you need to show out and show. Like you gotta talking is talking, but you gotta back up what you talk. So Dak, he has to show up. The running game for the Cowboys got to show up. Zeke, three carries, 6 yards. Got to do more than that. I mean, so it's put up a shut up time for the Cowboys early, early. And the New York Giants, they went in and beat the Cleveland Browns. Malik Neighbors, that's not gonna be easy for the Dallas Cowboys, but they gotta show how dominant they're supposed to be. The preseason talk, all that, they have to show if they're really, really about it. And in primetime Thursday night. So we'll see how the Cowboys respond to that. Baltimore, great statement game, not falling to 0-3. You get to 0-3, it's like devil's kiss. So for them to avoid going 0-3, Baltimore, very, very, very impressive. They play the Buffalo Bills. That's going to be a good Sunday night game. That's going to be great. Josh Allen, they dominated the Jacksonville Jaguars. There are issues going on in Jacksonville, especially Dougie P, former Eagles head coach. Doug Peterson, Trevor Lawrence got that big contract this offseason. I don't know. I mean, you give him Gabe Davis, you got Brian Thomas Jr., a stud receiver at LSU, Travis Etienne. I just don't know. The defense had no question, no answers for Josh Allen. Just epic performance. He's currently, a lot of people think, is the front runner for MVP through week 4 right now. So he's playing lights out. Shout out to Josh Allen. Them, but I mean, I figured that the Bills wouldn't fall off a cliff, but like to go undefeated right now is very, very, very shocking. But Josh Allen, MVP candidate so far. The Chiefs. Are we concerned with the Chiefs? Are we concerned with the Chiefs? Even though they're 3-0, but they just don't look like the Chiefs. I mean, they're going through like walkthrough. Like, I guess like we could say preseason. Like you said, like some people pick it up, they start off slow, then they pick it up. The Chiefs, I mean, whew, Travis Kelce. I don't know what's going on with Travis Kelce. He's on my fantasy football team, you guys. Not just I don't know. I mean, it's rough. It's rough out here for him. I mean, it's rough for me. I'm have to bench him. I mean, this is through 3 games. He only has 8 grabs for 69 yards. He needs to do better. I don't know what's going on. I mean, does Taylor Swift need to see a special visit for Travis? Get his mind right? Did he need to go a little semi vacation for a couple days? Come back, like get a massage? I don't know. When I say massage, you guys, not like a Deshaun Watson massage. I'm talking about a regular massage with, So I want to preference that. Okay, now back to our regular schedule program. Yeah, Travis Kelce, he has to step it up, pick it up. Rashid Rice is doing it. They got Isaiah Pacheco's out for a couple of weeks. But they're winning. They're winning, but they have a tough one this coming up Sunday against the LA Chargers. With Justin Herbert, we don't know if he's going to play or not, but with Jim Harbaugh, he's going to want to be physical with Mahomes. So this is the first Jim Harbaugh Patrick Mahomes matchup. That should be fun. Also depressed, the Cincinnati Bengals 0-3. Joe Burrow, Jamal Chase. What's going on? What is really going on down there in Cincinnati? I mean, there's so many distractions going on right now. With the Cincinnati Bengals team. Can they pick it up? I'm sure they can, but they play Carolina with the resurgent Carolina Panthers and Andy Dalton getting off the schneid as well. I mean, this is wow. So can they pick it up? Can they bounce back? It's tough. Like I said, since like the 1979, there's never been a team that won the Super Bowl starting off 0-3, and I think only 2 teams since then, maybe since 2000, 1 or 2, have made the playoffs starting off 0-3. So let's see what the Cincinnati Bengals can they do, or is this one of those years like it's just going to be one of those bad years for them? So we'll see how they can rewrite rewrite their books going on. The Tennessee Titans. Malik Willis came into town. The Malik Willis revenge game. He showed in, showed out. Will Levis once again is playing quarterback like a man that's just undecisive, doesn't know what to do. It's just bad. It's just bad. Like they go into Monday night against another shaky team right now without their main quarterback in Miami with Tula out. Skylar Thompson is just not the case. They went into Seattle, just laid an egg. Literally, one of the players, Barry, I believe, had his pants pulled down, showed his butt, making the rounds around social media. Not a good look. Something's got to give when they play Monday night. Who's gonna break? Who's gonna give? So um, I don't know. So we got to see how this is gonna how though both those teams are gonna respond. But Will Levis got to play better, man. You got to play better. Like I said in the previous episode, get out of social media and get your butt in the playbook. I'm sorry, and do better. Plain and simple. Um, if there's anything else that I've missed out that's important, the 49ers losing to the Rams. I mean, wow. The 49ers are 1-2. They're hurt. They need I think that's the key to some of these teams. Them and the Eagles get better, get healthy. They play the New England Patriots at San Francisco. Brock Purdy dinged up his back. You know, they don't have Debo Samuels. George Kittle missed the game. Uh, let's see, can they get healthy? I think that's the biggest key moving forward for this team. If they're healthy and rejuvenant, of course it's going to be a different team moving forward. So, interesting to see how that plays out. All right, I think I've got to, football wise. I think that will probably do. Let me get to college football right quick, unless I just don't miss anything. Okay, college football, Colorado. Wow, against Baylor. Last play, Hail Mary. Shedeur Sanders threw it and caught it. The receiver caught it. Travis Kelce had a fumble to prevent Baylor from winning the game. I mean, unbelievable. Colorado is they're so just there's so much going on with that, but they came in, like I said, did what they have to do. Shout out to Colorado and Coach Prime and Shedeur Sanders for that amazing win. The Memphis Tigers, I have nothing to say. I'm speechless. Navy. I mean, I said this, if they could get past Navy, they can get past triple. It wasn't even triple option. It was just they got a quarterback that could throw. And I think that just really just threw Memphis off. Like Navy's out here throwing the ball and doing all this type of stuff. And what's crazy is Memphis had the opportunity. They had the onside kick. I was actually watching this with my family, cousins down in Nashville. Had the opportunity, got the ball on the onside kick. Seth Hennigan, wrong place, wrong time, pick six, game clincher for Navy. It's probably pretty much over for them to make the playoffs unless something dramatic, crazy happens. But Memphis got to just keep playing out the season. They play MTSU Saturday night. Let's see how that plays out. Mizzou surviving Vanderbilt. Again, we were watching this going back and forth. Memphis Navy, Vandy, Mizzou. Vandy had the game won, of course, but the kicker missed it in overtime. Mizzou survives. I'm not sold on Mizzou. They have to prove to me that they are one of those teams moving in this season. But to almost lose to Vandy, it definitely would have took them out. So let's just see how that plays out. Plays out for them during the season as well. USC and Michigan again. USC had it, but once again, Lincoln Riley finds a way to not win the big game. What else is new? Michigan just keeps on Michigan, only 35 yards, throwing the entire game. USC, welcome to the Big Ten. This is what you guys wanted, physicality. You got to be physical with a team like Michigan, who only has less than 50 yards passing. So Michigan being Michigan. So let's see how the USC responds to this adversity moving forward in the season. Those were the games that I watched college football. Oh, and UT, the Josh Heupel return to Oklahoma. He won that game. Shout out to that. They're just great. Nico was great. Let's see how they go moving forward into the rankings. Believe they do play Georgia, I think, coming up. But what a marquee game. Of course, this week, you guys, it is the big one, Georgia, Alabama. Nothing more, nothing said. Saturday night, you already know. So sit back, relax, and enjoy that wonderful, wonderful game. I'm looking forward to that. Memphis plays MTSU, like I said. So those are some of the marquee games that I'll be watching in college football. NFL, like I said, I broke all that down. The marquee game, of course, I'm watching Minnesota, one of them, Minnesota Green Bay. Of course, my Philadelphia Eagles and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That's a noon game. The Chiefs and Chargers, you know how much they don't like each other. That's going to be a very, very, very fun game. Sunday Night Football, it's Baltimore and Buffalo. Josh Allen versus Lamar, always marquee. Monday night, two Monday night games, Tennessee, Miami. I don't know how that's going to play. It's a pick'em game. That's how we don't know what's gonna happen in that. And the other game, Detroit, Seattle. So a couple goodies next week in the NFL and college football, and I'm excited to see how that all unfolds. All right, you guys. My final topic of the day. Two big cases going on right now. The Tyree Nichols case is going on still currently. And of course, the Young Dolph case started yesterday. Very, very interesting how day one kicked off. Justin Johnson and Cornelius Smith. Cornelius Smith took the stand, one of the shooters in the Young Dolph murder of Young Dolph. He was allegedly hired by Big Jook, aka Yo Gotti's brother, who died earlier this year in a shooting. Said that there was a hit on Young Dolph, $40,000. I keep hearing $100,000, 40,000, but I'm gonna go with WRG Channel 3 said 40,000. 40,000. He was shorted $800. Cornelius Smith, and said that we knew that this was Young Dolph's daughter's birthday, and that he would be in town giving away turkeys. Just horrific actions. Him testifying about it. To be continued. Of course, it's going on this week, possibly into next week. My advice, you guys, is of course stay tuned to WRG News Channel 3 for more for updates about this trial going on and the Tyree Nichols case going on. I think I speak for everybody. We want justice to be served. We want everybody to be safe. Safety coming into this courtroom, covering it all. Media people, the family, friends. We just want closure. We want everybody to be safe. They're taking all the safety precautions to make sure everybody's safe inside the courtroom, metal detectors, etc., and all that. So we just, like I said, pray for health and safety for everybody involved going on in this case, judges, jury, all that. So of course I will keep you guys updated on what goes on in this case, but it's going to get explosive, entertaining, really, 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 really fast. All right, you guys, that will conclude another juicy episode, wonderful episode of Throw It Down Big Fella podcast. Please subscribe, like I said, to this wonderful podcast at Throw It Down Big Fella, and also follow on Instagram at Throw It Down Big Fella Pod. Thank you guys so much for believing in me, loving in me, and just showing you guys the support. Please tell somebody about this wonderful podcast. For your host, Greg Rufus, I will see you guys next time. Until then, peace out.
Throw it down, big man.